What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Today we have another truck mod to the Silverado to add to the list, and I know you know what it is already by the thumbnail and the title, but let me explain first why I'm doing this. So when I bought this truck, March of this year, 2018, I bought this truck for a build. The rear end of this truck, I say this truck because all cab configurations and bed lengths will vary this, even like Z71 package will vary this. My truck sat exactly 2.5 inches higher in the rear. My goal was to level the truck completely so that way I could fit a sweet set of 33 by 1250s on a 20-inch wheel, and I have successfully done that. Now this leveling kit that I put on from MotoFab did give my truck 2.5 inches of lift in the front end, thus leveling it 100%. It is mathematically 100% level, which is my problem because from the naked eye, at least from my naked eye, I feel that the ass end of this truck squats. A good YouTuber, LMF's crew, he bought a 2018 Silverado just like this, but he bought a crew cab short bed. He did a 3-inch level in the front, and then he actually removed the factory block on the rear axle. And I think like the ass end of his truck sits like maybe 2.5 inches lower in the rear, and that's awesome. That's good for him. That is his preference, but I don't like a truck that squats. I think it looks weird. I like the factory rake that these trucks have because they look like aggressive. They look like something that's about to pounce on its prey and destroy it. And so I'm trying to get that back on mine. And if I'm hauling anything heavy into bed, dirt, mulch, my quad, or if I have a trailer hooked up and have anything heavy on the trailer, it does squat and that irritates me. So I bought a 2-inch lift block kit for the rear of this truck. This kit comes with 2 lift blocks, longer U-bolts, and all the mounting hardware it needs. I bought these blocks from MotoFab, the same company who I bought my front lift from, my leveling kit from up front. MotoFab claims that these fabricated blocks will outlast original cast iron and solid aluminum blocks. These are powder coated and the strongest blocks on the market, so we will see. They also come with a lifetime guarantee and they're made in the USA, which is pretty nice. Now these blocks, you can't probably tell on the camera, but they are tapered, so there is like a smaller end that will go towards the front of the truck so that we keep the correct pinion angle on your driveline. Alright, now I'm pretty pumped about this. I jacked the ass end of the truck up 2 inches higher in the rear the other week to see what it would look like. I think it looked awesome. The goal is to try to get this on before it starts to rain because it's supposed to today. So let's get the truck turned around first. Okay, perfect. Now let's get this lift kit on. Okay, now after like a 2-hour rain delay with still like more chance of rain, truck is up in the air, supported by jack stands. The axle itself is supported by a jack, so that way when we unbolt everything, we can lower the axle, take the old blocks out, put the new ones in. What we want to do is unbolt any ABS or brake line things. That way when we lower the axle, we're not going to extend anything and you know, overextend them. And then literally we're just going to unbolt the bottom of the shocks so they have play. Unbolt the U-bolts themselves, discard those. You never want to reuse U-bolts. And then lower the axle, slide out this factory block here, put my new ones in, put the new U-bolts on, bolt everything back up, and then she should be good to go. Alright guys, glasses off. This thing just whooped my ass. I kind of stopped that little B-roll segment. It was a pain in the ass to get the old ones out, and even a more pain in the ass to get these new ones in. A couple of things of advice: if you do this yourself, The instructions and video that they do on this just tell you to remove this and this to lower the axle. But I actually had to unbolt this here and a couple other odds and ends because the axle had to be lowered literally almost to the ground for me to be able to fit these new blocks in. So the blocks are finally in. Now I just got to get the axle lined up properly so I get it jacked up and kind of go from there. But either A, get an extra set of, also, they didn't tell you in the directions or the video, but definitely you need a jack stand to support your drive shaft. Otherwise, that thing's gonna hit the ground. I know from experience. So let's get this thing bolted back up and see how it looks. And just like that, she is done. Well, not just like that, it took way longer than I anticipated. The instructions said it would take about 1 hour. It took me realistically maybe like 3 or 4. Once again, that's my fault because I don't have any help, so I'm doing everything by myself. But take a look. It might be a little hard for you to tell right now. I basically have the factory rake back in the truck. It's 2 inches. It came with 2.5. So realistically, I did a 2.5 inch level up front, a 2 inch block kit in the rear. And I'll be honest with you, I think the front was actually easier to do. And I was sadly mistaken because I thought it was gonna be super easy to do the rear. Hardest part about it, honestly, was getting the axle so low enough that you could take the old ones out and put the new ones back in, and then you had to basically line the axle back up in place so everything would, line up properly. And that was really hard to do with one person because I'd line up one side, the other side would get out of whack, vice versa. And the only other thing that sucked is everything came off with a 21mm deep socket. And I wasn't prepared. Everything had to go back on with a 22mm deep socket. So I did have to invest in some new deep sockets, but you can never have enough of them. But these are the factory blocks. These are the factory U-bolts and hardware for it. I don't know, I like it. You know what, this did whoop my ass, so I'm gonna call it a day today. I will do like a test drive and a review on it later. Also, like, now that I raised the ass end of the truck up 2 inches, the shocks are going to be extended 2 more inches than they are factory, so like I may have to get longer shocks or shock extensions, and that I'd probably rather buy longer shocks, honestly. Spend $40 more and get longer shocks. I gotta get this stuff cleaned up, shower, and go to bed so I can go to work. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please smash that thumbs up button for me. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Do you think it was a good idea to throw blocks on the rear of this truck, or should I have left it leveled? I don't know. I like this. I got that aggressive stance back. This thing's ready to pounce on whatever. But if you're not subscribed, please join the build, and I will see you guys next week.